And this is David White sitting in for the one and only Tom O'Brien. We'll have a action-packed show for you tonight with Andy Heck in the second and third segments. We've got earnings tonight from Priceline, Square, Workday, and Hertz, and a recap of everything that went on throughout the day. Of course, if you're just getting in your car, the S&P was off 35 points, the Dow off 300, NASDAQ off 91, the Russell was down 21. And, you know, we wanted to start first checking in with the kind of volume we had at the end of the day. So far, we're going to be coming in at about 3.6 billion shares on the New York Consolidated Tape. And I'm going to say it's pretty good. We talked a little earlier. In fact, I went short one stock before the close yesterday, got stopped out today. So it was early. Put on a couple more trades, both in the short and long long-term newsletters around 10. And those look to be pretty good positions right now. We'll see how those work. They are going to be not for the next few hours, but for the next few weeks. Hopefully they'll work out. But they're all in winning positions, and that's pretty much everything, all you can ask for. The market pretty much closed at the lows of the day, and I don't think that there's a great deal to be made over this technically, and we can look at this both with the news. In fact, I want to talk to Andy Heck in that second and third segment a little bit about something that happened before I got into the market, but certainly some stuff that he dealt with, and maybe he has some remembrances of the gentleman we'll be talking about today, because he is pretty front and center with probably the acceleration down. We'll get into that part of the news. But big day, big volume, big downsides. And on the greater scale, a handful of things pushing the market down. The dollar index, if you didn't catch that, 90.33 on the last tick. My call has been that this is in a trading range from about 89 back up to 92. The TLT also just can't seem to get up and over. It's got some lows in the 115.50 to 116 area. To see where that closed. Is that in my list here? It is. Closed at 118, got down to 117.26. I suspect it will continue to get down to this 116 area and test, and that's going to tell us a lot. My guess is that the government will work on both the dollar and bonds and look at that as something they need to keep in a nice, happy medium. But my belief is that that has set up a pullback into mid-March. That pullback could get us to 26.50 to 26.80 area. We may even get a little lower than that, but my guess is that by expiration, we'll be in the 26.50, 26.80 area, and probably come back on lighter volume. The big move that we had really hasn't had any consolidation. Sometimes you get V bottoms, but that doesn't mean that you don't have to do any work to consolidate on the way back up. There will be a lot of people wanting to get their cash back and praying and kissing the ground for the opportunity to do so. And we'll see that. So we'll go through a handful of these. We had some big losers out here today, but we'll not talk too much about that and get into the second segment. But and why don't we just talk a little bit about the news that did happen today, then we'll be ready for Andy Heck. And we've got 3 minutes here. We'll see if we get any kind of, we got a few out here. Earnings are ready, so we'll take a quick look at that. To ETSY, which is Etsy. Let's see if we can't get a chart up of that also. ETSY. Okay, Etsy, if you're not familiar with this company, is a lot of people that make and crochet and make small crafts and sell it online. This thing looked like for a while was going to go bankrupt. Actually, it seems like they got a new CEO in there. Things moving a little bit better. After the bell, it's up 16%. 24.49 is the last tick I see on that. And this thing has been going up for a while. Let's see if we can get a little longer read on this. Well, that's it. 24.40 gets you through the last major high on July 17th of 2015. That gets you back into this IPO territory. It did get down to $6.04. It was and still is kind of one of those companies that is a haven for hippie and free spirits. And the problem was that they just, whenever the people would make enough stuff that they could make a living, they wouldn't make any more. So the company and the makers didn't ever really profit. The new CEO's kind of come in. He's cleaned house. He's made it known that you need to kind of make a little bit more than just getting by money, and that's done a lot for it. A lot of shorts in this thing from the IPO. As I said, this thing got down to $6. Probably a little long in the tooth to be shorting it here, but up 18 cents. Some of the other ones that we were looking at today was AutoZone. These were some of the worst hit of the day. Down on huge volume going through basically the support areas that even went back, and the spike that went through the worst part of April 5th through, February 5th through April. I can't even say it. February 5th through February 9th, he said. I'll get it right. But kind of an interesting setup out here, and, just blew out the lows. Again, not a good day to disappoint. Selling continued throughout the day on a handful of these. And the question is AutoZone or any of the other auto parts companies immune to Amazon getting into their business, or is there something bigger or different going on in these? Of course, it's got down to $4.91 on July 20th on the heels of everybody believing that these companies were done. Got back up to $7.97. And, of course, now it's probably going to consolidate somewhere in this area right above 600 to 650. Well, as we said, if you didn't catch it, off 35 today on the S&P 500. Dow was off almost 300 within a couple of spikes. And I suspect we're going to have a nice little pullback here, some consolidation. So if you didn't buy the bottom, I think you're going to get another opportunity. If you didn't short today, well, you're probably going to wait for that long position down a little bit lower. But we'll be back